to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16 Update.
Good evening, I'm Karen Harch. Nolan Johannes has the night off. Congress is working late again tonight, but they're expected to wrap things up quickly and go home. The lawmakers passed a tough anti-drug bill tonight and are working on a host of other bills. President Reagan is expected to sign a big spending bill passed by Congress this evening, so that means the government will be back in business Monday morning. Federal workers all across the country, including our area, were sent home early today because the government was technically out of money. But early this evening, Congress finally okayed a record $576 billion spending bill. It contains money for all kinds of federal programs, and some of the cash will come to our area. Steamtown USA in Scranton will receive $20 million, and its designation as a National Historic Site. $26 million will go to the Wyoming Valley Sewer Authority, and more than $300 million will be spent on flood control projects in the Wyoming Valley and Lock Haven. Also, President Reagan signed a Superfund bill today that contains more than $9 billion to clean up toxic waste sites. Next, meteorologist Tom Clark will try to warm things up a bit for the weekend. Boy, it feels like the middle of November out there.
It does. Better days ahead, though, Karen.
Ah, good.
Yeah, and when we come back, I'll tell you how much warmer it's going to get. You're watching Newswatch 16 Update on WNEP TV. We're proud to serve Palmerton and all of Carbon County.
This is a beer that's everything a fine imported beer ought to be. It's brewed with all natural ingredients, the way fine imported beers are brewed. Bottled in tall green glass, the way fine imported beers are bottled. This is Rolling Rock Premium Beer, brewed by the Latrobe Brewing Company and imported in bottles and cans from Latrobe, PA.
I'm here at the Burlington Coat Factory to find out why women love shopping here.
There's super savings here. Very impressed with your designer collection.
The coats are fantastic. The sportswear department is really nice. They have name brand things at good low prices.
The prices are excellent. I would say they're probably almost half of what I see in the stores.
I've never seen this many coats before. Okay. Yeah, I just love it.
Savings, selections, and famous brands. That's what Burlington Coat Factory is all about.
Better days ahead. That's good news, right, Tom?
That's right, Karen. We deserve some sunshine, no doubt about it. Today, just a miserable day, cold and damp, and no change in the backyard tonight. Temperatures in the mid-40s with a bit of a sprinkle falling out here tonight. It's too bad it's cloudy because there would be a beautiful full moon up there tonight. We've had about 1/100 of an inch of rain so far today. Let's check in with our weather watchers and see what's going on across the region tonight. Mary Wirtz in Stroudsburg has 44 degrees and a trace of rain there today. There's some drizzle falling. Jim Williamson in Mooresburg, a big Penn State fan, says it's 43 in his backyard. Some spritzy drizzle, as he called it. And Ron Schuler in Nicholson has 42 degrees under some low clouds tonight. In the backyard now, we have a temperature of 45, 93% humidity. The wind is light, but it's coming down from the north, and the barometer is rising steadily tonight, 30.27, and it's going to get way up there before this weekend is through. 48 and 44, the small range in temperature here today. 87 degrees and 24 are the records for the date. Now I have a satellite view coming up next, and as you can plainly see on tonight's cloud photo, we are almost surrounded by a vast expanse of clear skies. But the clouds persisting over Pennsylvania are from a storm system moving very slowly out to sea tonight. And as it does, this giant Canadian high will begin to take its place. And as I mentioned, the barometer is going to get way high before the weekend is through as it builds down over Pennsylvania. The northerly winds will continue, but the dry air with the high will continue to erode away the edges of the cloud deck. And so the sun will be peeking through the clouds tomorrow, and then tomorrow night the high will come right over the state, and temperatures will bottom out into the 20s in many places. And then on Sunday, just a beautiful day, as we will have the clear air over Pennsylvania at that point, with just a slight moderation in temperature, no big warm-up in sight. Tomorrow, a respectable day, intervals of clouds and sunshine. By the time the sun sets, the sky may be almost clear, but decreasing cloudiness as we go. 50 for the high in Towanda, Trucksville 50, Palmerton about 54 with some sun tomorrow, Hawley about 51, and at Beaver Stadium for the homecoming game tomorrow, 53 degrees, dress warm. Despite the sun, it's going to stay chilly. The wind will not be too much of a factor, no more than about 12 miles per hour from the north. Now here's the sunrise time for Saturday morning, 7:18 and 6:19 is the sunset tomorrow night. We go back to standard time on the 26th, the last Sunday of the month. 39 should be the low here tomorrow morning. It's going to stay kind of cloudy. These spritzes will taper off in the next few hours. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 51. Tomorrow night, a clear moonlit night and very cold. There'll be some frost around by Sunday morning. A beautiful day Sunday, about 58 for the high, getting up to about 60 on Monday, and of course a beautiful day on Monday. And then Karen on Tuesday, partly cloudy, 63 degrees. So enjoy the sunshine. Get out those big white frame sunglasses you have.
Okay, I will. Have a good weekend, Tom.
Thanks.
Next, getting down to the nitty-gritty in high school football, Tim Carlson and Albie Oxenrider will show us the playoff picture on 16 Sports Final next.
Yuengling was brewing premium beer back in 1956, in 1919, in 1860, and all the way back to 1829. 5 generations of the Yuengling family have been helping America quench her thirst for over a century and a half. What a tradition. What a great beer. Yuengling, America's oldest, is still America's best. And that's a promise from Dick Yuengling himself.
Come to Hess's. In all this glamour, fashion, excitement, you'll think you've been transported to Fifth Avenue until you look at the prices. With this kind of value, it has to be Hess's.
It's Hess's greatest furniture sale. Now through October 18th, you'll find incredible prices on beautiful bedrooms, luxurious living rooms, chairs and recliners, dining rooms, and pay no interest for 1 full year with Hess's Furniture Club plan. Bring the glamour home with Hess's Furniture Values.
Well, now we're into the home stretch of the high school football season, this being week number 8, and we got through another Friday without any games postponed due to rain.
Yeah, almost. 38 games were played as scheduled, some pretty important ones, too, around the area.
All right, and one of those at Wyoming Area Stadium, where the Warriors played Coughlin in a big Eastern Conference Class A Central game. Both teams needing a win to stay in the playoff picture. And John Evans has more on this one.
The Warriors missed some chances to score early in this one. Chris Wickheiser missed 2 field goals of 35 and 31 yards in the first half. And he also had a third try, this one from 34 yards, blocked by Art Searfoss with 2 minutes left in the half. The Crusaders then drove downfield, but Carl Yastrzemski was wide with a 34-yard field goal try. And the half ended as it began, and 0-0. Coughlin's first drive of the second half, they drove 70 yards in 13 plays. Dave Olszakowski hit Pete Patera from 18 yards out. Patera making the great catch here. The extra point made it 7-0 after the touchdown. Coughlin led in the third quarter. The Warriors really didn't come close to scoring the rest of the game. Patera sealed it with his second interception with 2.5 minutes left. The final in this one, Coughlin 7, Wyoming Area 0.
Our intensity wasn't there a little bit, but the kids did a super job. They showed a lot of character, lost a tough one last week, and boy, they did a nice job tonight. You know, I thought we moved the ball the second half. We just got to make some more adjustments, and we'll be okay.
The win not only puts the Crusaders on top in the Wyoming Valley Conference Division I, but also keeps them on top in the Eastern Conference Class A Central Division. John Evans, Sports Watch 16, West Pittston.
We go to the high school football scoreboard now. Wyoming Valley Division I, Hazleton over Pittston area 13-7. High school football, Jersey Shore upsets number 1 Milton tonight, 15-0. Number 10 Montoursville falls to Tyrone, 14-7. Number 15 North Schuylkill winner over Chief Logan, 27-0. Montgomery over Hughesville, 21-3. Albie?
And Tim, I spent the evening at Wilkes-Barre Memorial Stadium watching the number 3 team in the Super 16. That is GAR, and they hosted Dallas tonight. The Mountaineers just a game behind the Grenadiers in both the Eastern Conference Class B, Eastern Central standings, and in the Division II of the Wyoming Valley Conference. This was scoreless through 1 quarter. But the Grenadiers finally got on the board with just under 3.5 minutes left. Second quarter, second and goal. It's Dave Mahardy. 7-0 with the extra point, GAR. A few minutes later, Grenadiers made it a 2-touchdown lead. 5'11" junior Leroy de Graffenried makes it 14-zip. And then to the third quarter, Dallas in punt formation here. But the punt is dropped there by Scott Francis, and he's dropped inside the 15-yard line. 4 plays later, to the third quarter we go, and this is John Snyder to put icing on the cake. The final, GAR wins this one 21-0. West Branch Conference, Bald Eagle Nittany over Loyal Sock 28-6. Northern Tier League loses, Troy beats Sayre 10-6. Wellsboro 32, North Penn 8. High school football, Millersburg by 13 points over East Juniata, and it is Juniata 17, Kish 14.
Down the turnpike to check out a major game in the East Penn Conference. Emmaus playing Bethlehem Catholic, with the winner of tonight's game in first, the loser tied with 3 other teams for second. Pick it up in the second quarter now on this one, and it's 10-0 Emmaus. Bethlehem Catholic comes back, though, the 4-yard TD pass, quarterback John Mattis to Steve Diacount, and it's 10-7 at the half, Emmaus. The Emmaus defense, though, adds to the lead in the third quarter. Watch number 81, Eric Klock. And he'll cleanly pick off the pass here and go all the way down the sidelines, chalk it up as 66 yards in the book for the touchdown, and the interception return 16-7 Emmaus. Then Emmaus ices it with the TD plunge by Paul Martellucci, and the final 29-7 Emmaus over Bethlehem Catholic. East Penn Conference scoreboard coming at you. Whitehall over Freedom 21-7. Northampton beat Allentown 12-0. Easton over Parkland 14-7. It was Deerfield over Phillipsburg 12-6. In the Centennial League, Lehighton over Northern Lehigh 14-6. Palmerton beat Pleasant Valley 14-0. In the Colonial League, Bangor 25 and Nazareth 6. Back to the Eastern Conference for another one of those situations with the 2 teams playing just a game apart as the night began.
That's right, Tim. Danville and Central Columbia in this Class B2 Southern Division game. The Ironmen just a game behind Central, the leaders in the division. And a good game, too. Danville on the board first. Senior Mark Matarani takes the handoff right up the middle and goes 26 yards for the touchdown with the extra point. Danville led this game 7-0 in the first. Still in the first, Central comes back. It's Bob Coker. He takes the pitch down the right sideline for a 19-yard run. Central ties the game at 7 with the extra point. Then in the second quarter, Central pulls ahead. It's Bob Coker again on the carry. He starts left, and then he cuts inside for a 27-yard romp. Central pulls ahead 14-7, and they go on to win this game by a final of 20-7. Now the Eastern Conference scoreboard. Freeland, our number 11 team, beats Bishop Hayfie. The final there, 30-8. Mount Carmel ranked 14th, beats Pottsville. Wyoming Valley West shuts out Nanticoke. Shamokin over Lords Regional, and Tamaqua 12, Panther Valley 2.
One more game from the Eastern Conference South to see tonight, this time on the Class A level, as 12th-ranked Berwick needed a win over Shikellamy to have any hopes at all to get into a wild card playoff berth. We take a look at second quarter action here, and the Dogs are rolling. Cosmo Curry rambles 25 yards for the touchdown, makes it 35-0 Berwick at the half. In the fourth quarter, watch Nick DePippa. He'll score the final TD of the ball game and for the Bulldogs. And the final, check it out. Berwick wins it 42-0 over Shikellamy. Eastern Conference scoreboard now. St. Clair over Minersville 35-0. Shenandoah shuts out Southern Columbia 16-0. Schuylkill Haven over Nativity 19-6. It was Tri-Valley over Williams Valley 34-14. Upper Dauphin over Line Mountain 12-0. Couple of games in the Big 11 tonight. Scranton Tech over Dunmore 14-0. And it was Scranton Prep beating Scranton Central by the same score, 14-0.
And Timmy, in that Prep Central game, scoreless after one quarter. But in the second quarter, the Cavs start the scoring. Ed Lynette takes it in from the 5-yard line with the extra point, 7-0. Fourth quarter, nice run by one of the Behara brothers. Number 42, Robbie Behara, takes it 20 yards and gets a first down for Prep. Then with 4 minutes left in the game, Robbie's brother, Chris Behara, cashes in the quarterback keeper from 10 yards out, and that's it. Scranton Prep shuts out Central 14-0. Some final scores from high school football. State College, a 1-point loser tonight. The Du Bois, Phillipsburg, Osceola beats Bald Eagle Nittany there. The final 31-12. Huntington over Lewistown 28-6. And Kerwinsville 40, Bucktail 6.
And that's the Friday night football stuff for this week. Al, what's up for tomorrow?
28 games, with most of them going on in the daylight hours. All the scores and highlights tomorrow night on the Update Sports Watch.
All right, we'll be looking for that. Okay. And for Penn State fans, the annual homecoming game at Beaver Stadium tomorrow with Syracuse in town. Syracuse, the only team in the past 25 years to defeat Penn State in a homecoming game, the last in 1970. Penn State will take the field tomorrow with quarterback John Schaefer in the starting role again. After last week's contest with Cincinnati, where Schaefer played for the entire game for the first time this year, there was some concern. John complaining of a sore thumb.
He's fine. He practiced yesterday. We had about a 40-minute workout. And he was fine. Threw the ball. We had a good session on the pass game. Tried to polish up a couple of things, and he's fine.
Albie with a bit of a scare coming out of the game with Cincinnati last week. I think Penn State will treat the homecoming crowd to a spiffy 31-14 win over the Orangemen to make it a perfect 6-0 going into the Bama game next week. How about you?
I like the Nittany Lions in a rout, 41-7.
Ooh, wow. Well, tomorrow, Al, the World Series begins in New York with the Mets favored playing the Red Sox. And who do you like in this one?
I like the Mets in 6.
All right, just in case you missed it at 6, yes, it's the Sox in 6. The Boston Red Sox will defeat the New York Mets in 6 games in the World Series. That's my prediction, and if they don't, I will sing the Mets theme song live here on this station while showing highlights of the Mets win over the Red Sox. And a 4-game sweep wouldn't surprise me at all, Al.
Attention. I can't wait to see you sing for all the nice folks all over Northeast and Central PA. And by the way, earplugs will be available for our viewers' use after
Thanks
the Mets
a lot. Very
win.
funny, Albert. Let's go to the NHL scoreboard now. Toronto over New Jersey 3-2. Pittsburgh beat Buffalo tonight 7-3. Detroit over Edmonton 2-1 in the second period.
And racing at Pocono Downs tonight, the second race feature won by Sweet and Lovable. The numbers in the Daily Double, 6 and 5. 1180. The big triple was 432. 382-20.
And the fishing game forecast, well, I tell you, tomorrow night on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life at 7, more on the Alaska Stove giveaway and eel trapping along the Delaware. And that will do it for the sports final for this week, except for one more thing. The report you saw earlier from John Evans was the final on the final for John. He's leaving Sports Watch 16 to accept a full-time sports reporter anchor position at a TV station in Gainesville, Florida. Take a look at some of this from John Evans' past here at Channel 16. John started here at WNEP as an intern from King's College Communications in May of 1983. A year later, he was reporting on the air. Later that summer, he got to do some other things and also brought us the Bear Facts. In the spring of '85, it was John at the Georgetown-Lehigh game. Then he tried to start his own franchise right here with the help of a pitching machine after visiting our baseball team. Then he got into the aerobics kick. Finally, John did find his niche in the sports fill-in anchor chair, and he did a super job, I might add at that. Last fall, he made the trip with Bloomsburg University to northern Alabama in the Division II national playoffs, only to come home disappointed with a Bloomsburg loss. But nevertheless, he had a very good time with the Bloom team on that plane. By the way, John holds the NCAA record for pass completions to himself. How do you do that? As our sports coordinator, John was our resident Sports Star of the Week expert, and of course, knowing which team should be in our Super 16. 2 of his biggest thrills? Well, I guess one of them has to be meeting the men behind the mic at Yankee Stadium, and then meeting one of the greatest men behind the wheel, Mario Andretti, live. Way to go, John. And of course, John knows all the people at Penn State. And let me say tonight, when the high school folks called in their scores for the last time, they heard sports, John Evans.
Good luck to John.
He'll do well. See you tomorrow.
Save on quality hardware and tools during the Pro Fall Sale. Over 200 super values, like Frost King Storm Window Kits, designed to fight cold drafts with heavy-gauge polyethylene, pro-priced at $1.20. Electropack 6-outlet center with a push-to-reset breaker is pro-priced at $10.99, plus a $2 rebate. And Marshalltown Trowel's Magnesium Float is precision-beveled and pro-priced at a low $9.99. Sale ends October 18th at these and other participating Pro Lumber, Home Center, or hardware stores.
To clear a little snow, an Aaron's ST 2+2 Compact is your best choice. To clear a little more snow, an Aaron's 5-horse model is your best choice. And to clear even more snow, Aaron's 8-horse Deluxe model is your best choice. In fact, if one of Aaron's 17 two-stage snow throws isn't right for you, you have only one choice. Buy an Aaron snow throw before November 15th and get a free parka at these Aaron's dealers.
Finally tonight, some good and bad news about one of the senior members of the Newswatch 16 Update Video Zoo. Buana, the gorilla, is 29 years